Hi everyone, today I am going to teach you how to mix different primary colors to make secondary colors. And we're going to do that by overlapping different shapes. So here are some different examples of the shapes or glasses that you can draw out. Different sizes with different curves to them. Here is an example that I made earlier today. And wherever they overlap, it's going to create a different color. So where the red and the yellow overlap, it creates orange. Where the blue and yellow overlap, it creates another secondary color, green. And where the red and blue overlap, it creates purple or violet. So what you're going to need in order to do this is have a straight edge, a ruler if you have one would probably work best, and a pencil with an eraser, and a black marker if you have one. So to start out, you're going to want to make sure that you have a nice straight line along the bottom. And I would go on your ruler, line the edge of your paper up at the 0, and make your first mark at the 1. So see how I have my 0 lined up with the edge of the paper. This will make it a little easier for you to see. 0 on the edge of the paper, not the end of the ruler, but the mark with the 0 on it. Use your pencil to make a mark at the 1. Keep moving down. Line up your 0 at the edge of your paper, mark at the 1. I would make about 4 of these little tick marks. That's going to ensure that you have a straight line that goes all the way across the bottom of your paper. Lay your ruler so that all these points line up. And then lightly create a line that connects all of those dots. There is your table or your flat surface where your different glasses are going to be on display. All right. So you can be as creative as you want in making your different glasses. Some are going to be longer than others. Some are going to be shorter, more wide, more narrow. If you want, you can look around your house and see if you can find some different objects for inspiration. When you are looking at a real life object and you are looking at it and drawing it, that's called creating a still life. So if you look at an object that you find in your house and you're drawing it, you're sketching it as you see it, that's called creating a still life drawing. All right. My first shape I'm going to do here. We'll make this a taller one. And I can use my straight edge if I want to make the bottleneck. There's many, many different kinds of shapes that you can make. So don't think that you have to do the same thing that I am doing. And I would do your pencil marks nice and light at first in case you have to do any erasing, because we're going to go over it with the Sharpie marker. There's my glass or bottle number 1. Next to it, I'm going to make another bottle, but I'm going to make this bottle so that it is behind this first one. So that means they are going to overlap. Maybe this one will be more like a goblet or a wine glass. So it's going to have a wider top to it. See here how it's overlapping? That's because this cup or glass is behind. It's further back than this one. We'll make a stemmed, make it into a stemmed glass, like that. Let's see. I kind of like the shape of this one. So I'll try my best to imitate this shape. It's got a narrow neck, and then it kind of curves out here, and then it's straight, parallel lines the rest of the way down. Narrow, curved, straight, parallel lines. Parallel means right next to. So I'm going to do my best to imitate this. Okay. Actually going to do a little erasing now because I realized that the neck of this bottle was kind of more at a diagonal. There we go. And it comes to the curve. This area here, I didn't make the lines to finish it because it's behind. All right. I have 3 so far. I can fit about 1 more here, and I might only have part of it showing, and that's fine. But I want to have at least 4 different glasses. You have to have a minimum of 4. You can have more than that if you want. For this last one, let's make something like this, a little bit shorter. There, perfect. All right, now that I have that done, I'm going to very lightly make the line where my objects overlap. And then here. Beautiful. Here's what I have. And now to really make these pieces of glass stand out, it looks awesome when you draw on top of the pencil line with Sharpie marker. If it's a thick point or a thin point, doesn't matter. Whatever you have available to you. It doesn't even have to be a permanent marker if you don't have one. And I want you to trace over these lines where they overlap. So you can trace on top of every single line. And then think about what designs you're going to put on your bottles. There's some examples that I put along with this video on Schoology. And on this document, it shows you different shapes of glasses and different ideas of glasses that you could make. And you'll see that there's lots of different details and shapes that the artist added to their glass. So take a look at that to give you some inspiration. I think here I'm going to add a detail of kind of making this curved line in here. Makes it a little more interesting. And then maybe here on the neck of this, I'll put some lines. Make kind of a teardrop design on this one. And then maybe this one has some squares for a pattern on it. You can get as creative as you want for this part. Maybe I'll do one here. Perfect. All right, so there's part one of this project. Once you get this much done, it's time to start thinking about how you are going to get paint for it. I have a watercolor paint that I'm going to use. If you do not have watercolor paint at home, I posted a video of how to make your own watercolor paints using dried out markers and just a cup of water. So you can watch that and you can make your own watercolor paint at home, or if you have your own watercolor paint all ready to go, that's wonderful too. Thank you for watching part one.